Well, it's 3:35 on Sunday, June 15th, and it's Father's Day. And oddly enough, it would have been my parents' 63rd wedding anniversary had their marriage lasted. Thank God it didn't though. They weren't good for each other. Anyways, I was thinking I was just gonna post just a video like I usually do for Father's Day. But I decided that I would post me talking about my dad and my thoughts because I guess it's important to me, partly because I want my kids to see it someday. My dad died in 2022, 3 years ago, and I never knew that. I just never thought that I would not ever have a Father's Day with him. I mean, logically I knew, but in here I didn't. And, it's really cliche to say that time heals and that you get used to people being gone and blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. I'm sorry. Well, it is to me. My dad was like my hero. I remember being tiny, like 2, 3 years old maybe, and I followed him around and did everything with him. I wanted to work on the cars with him. He was very mechanical. He was always working on cars or doing something around the house. And so I would do everything with him. And he was my buddy, my best friend. I admired him so much. And then as my sister and brother came along and life, goes on, I started getting older. By the time I turned 13, I was hell on wheels because I started drinking when I was 10. And the only way my dad knew to discipline me was the way that his dad disciplined him, which is take a belt to me. And when I was a teenager, I hated everybody. And I even did till I was an adult in my mid-20s. I hated the world. And there for a while, my dad and I didn't talk. I got sober and I didn't want to talk to anybody. So, and we were on again, off again for a while. And the last time that I shut him out, I just told him I had a lot of things to work through and that when I got ready to talk, I would. And he gave me a couple of years. And then one night he called me and he said, don't hang up, don't hang up. And I'm like, okay. And he said, Andrea, I can't change anything that I did. And he never did anything weird to me. Didn't molest me, but he was very verbally abusive and he got pretty physical. But what he said to me is, I can't change anything that I did to you. And a day doesn't go by that I don't think about it and regret it. And saying that my dad did it to me, so I did it to you, isn't a good enough excuse. But I can promise you, if you'll give me a chance, I can start today and change. And I said, okay. And so from that day until the day he died, we worked on our relationship, and he was my best friend. He he was like the safety net, and as I walked across the tightrope through life. And my dad was 6'4". He was big and he was strong and he was healthy, and he worked on train engines. He was an electrician for the railroad, and he worked on the engines for trains, and he was an HVA, had a degree in something, and he could work on air conditioners, and he just did all kinds of things. And as an adult, I admired him so much, because when he got to the point where he had gotten himself hurt at work, not his own fault, but through the stupidity of someone else, he hurt his back. He got through that and he went back to school and became a nurse. And one of the things that he loved the most to do in nursing was be a NICU nurse, working with premature babies. And here's my dad with his great big huge hand, because I went to have lunch with him one day, and I was looking in the window at him, and he had this little bitty baby in his great big huge hand. And I was like, how can he possibly be that gentle to not break this baby? And it just blew me away. And he had a gift with him. All the people on his floor said that he just had a gift. And I always admired him, because no matter what life threw at him, he got back up. And he may not have done it perfectly or pretty, but he got back up. And so when I was a little girl, I was about 10 years old. My dad took me out on a daddy-daughter date. And I remember my mom helped me get all pretty and put my hair in a bun and everything. And we went out to eat at a place called Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. And I felt like a princess. And then I remember a few years before he died, one day he insisted on just me and him going and having lunch. And he bought me lunch, and he filled my car up with gas. And we just did nothing but lollygag around all day, just driving all over. We went to this Amish restaurant, I think it was in Shoto, and we just drove all over the back roads to Claremore. I just had a good time with him. We talked about everything and nothing. And the last couple of months before he died were hard, and I didn't realize what kind of gift it was. Now I do. He lost his voice. He couldn't talk from all the infection that was in him, and he was fighting. He was trying to live, and all he would want to do is, I would come in after work. Linda, his wife, my stepmom, would stay with him during the day. I would come in right after work, and I would try to get him to eat dinner. And all he wanted to do was sit and watch TV and hold my hand. And he couldn't talk. And so I was trying to get him to eat. And one night I said, I'll get you anything. What do you want to eat? And he wrote down Oreos. So we just sat and drank. We had Oreos and milk that night. It was one of the last things I ate with him. And we just sat and watched TV and held hands. And what I wouldn't give to be able to do that today. And I know that a lot of the things that make me who I am came from him. He was tough as nails on the outside, but once you got past that exterior, he really was a cream puff. And he was always believing in the people that other people just threw away. He always had a friend that was down and out. He was trying to help. And he would tell you what he thought. He didn't pull any punches. But if you were in trouble, he was right there. So, and that's kind of the way I am. So, another Father's Day is gone. There's here, and I don't have my daddy. And he'll always be my daddy because I'm a daddy's girl. And I know that where he is on the other side is so much better than here. And even if he could come back, I wouldn't want him back the way he was because he wouldn't have been happy. But I'm so grateful that God or the universe or however he ended up being my dad, I'm grateful he was my dad and is my dad. And I'm grateful that we were able to come together and heal our relationship. And when he died, we were in a good place together and we loved each other deeply. Even though we locked horns at times, we still loved each other. So, my dear Father, Daddy, the Landy here still loves you deeply. You were always my hero and you always will be. Happy Father's Day. I love you.